Am I the a-hole for cleaning dog feces off my children at the birthday party? I have a friend who lives an hour away. We always attend each other's children's birthday parties. She has 3 children. We have been friends for 6 years. She has always been a genuine, calm person who does not speak poorly about others. She has always shown up for me. I usually host parties at rented play places. She hosts hers at home, which is fine in theory, but her house is often dirty. There are no activities or even toys for the children, and overall it is not a great experience. Over time, I have noticed fewer people show up, probably for the same reasons. Today, we attended her son's party, and it was honestly unpleasant. The only thing for the children to do was play outside on a swing set, but the yard was covered in huge piles of dog waste. They have a large cane corso, and it was obvious no one cleaned up before the party. I was shocked. This is a children's birthday party, and the only play area was full of dog waste. While my toddlers were playing, my 3-year-old fell and got dog waste all over her pants. I told her to come over so I could clean her up. I also called my other daughter over and said something like, "No more going on the grass. There is dog waste everywhere, and we need to stay clean." Of course, they started complaining. They are toddlers. But I calmly explained we had to stay inside and wash up. I was trying to protect them from getting sick or dirtier. That is when people started giving me weird looks, especially my friends' relatives. It felt like they thought I was being rude. When I came out of the bathroom after cleaning them up, I saw her sisters whispering and then suddenly going quiet when I walked by, clearly about me. I ignored it, even though I thought it was ridiculous. What made it worse was that my friend did not even check in on me. She just stayed with her sisters and family the whole time, barely acknowledging anyone else. I was the only friend who showed up, and there were no other children besides mine and hers. Eventually, she came up and asked, "Is everything okay?" As if I had caused a problem. I explained that my children got dog waste on them, so I had to clean them up. She just said, "Yeah, I am sorry about that," and I replied, "No worries," to keep things cordial. But honestly, I was disgusted. I made an excuse to leave soon after. I could not believe someone would host a children's party, neglect to clean the yard, and offer nothing for children to do but play around waste. It felt careless and rather unpleasant. Now I have not heard from her. No thank you for the $100 gift. No thanks for driving an hour with 2 children, nothing. I am starting to wonder if I somehow offended her or her family by simply taking care of my children. But I really do not think I did anything wrong. Am I missing something? Am I the a-hole for saying out loud how the yard was dirty and for asking them to go inside? She is not really a friend, is she? She got what she wanted from a present and then did not bother to clean up, which is quite disrespectful. Am I the a-hole because we will not let anyone live with us? Background: we have a beautiful 4,200 square foot home in a lovely neighborhood. We do not have any children, and it is our happy place. Several years ago, we allowed a friend to live with us as she was going through a divorce and moving back to her home state. It ended up being a disaster. She was an alcoholic, and what was supposed to be a few weeks turned into 6 months before we finally asked her to leave. My husband and I made a pact that no one would be allowed to stay longer than a visit, such as during Christmas week, and since then we have encountered the following situations. My father's ex-wife wanted to move in due to her financial issues. We said no. My uncle asked us to take in my cousin and her 4 children because she was experiencing homelessness due to her substance abuse problem, and he believed it was important for them to be in a stable environment. So, is it acceptable to make our environment unstable? We said no. Now, another friend keeps suggesting that she might move in with us because we have so much space. Once again, we said no. We are becoming increasingly exhausted by people assuming they can move in just because we have the room. Are we being unreasonable? When I had a house that big, people would come out of the woodwork trying to get space in there. You have to stand your ground to maintain your peace. Am I the a-hole because I would not include my stepfather on my child's emergency contacts? Am I the a-hole? My mother and father broke up when I was around 12 years old. She then got a partner who had no interest in me. According to my family, my stepfather said he would adopt me, and my mother rightfully said no, as he had been in my life for at most a year, and we had not gotten along in that time. He did not take it well, and my aunties say they believe he took his frustration out on me. This aggression worsened as I grew up. He would do things like lock me out of the house when they did not let me have a key, so if they happened to forget to leave a key, I had no other option but to try and see if any friends could let me stay with them. There were many awful things in between, but it would take a long time to list them all. I probably was not the easiest child to deal with, I admit. Fast forward to the present day. I have a baby of my own and have had recent problems regarding my son and my parents. The first incident occurred during a family wedding we were all invited to. My son is only just 2 years old, and we come from a large family who like to drink. 7 o'clock was the latest I wanted to be there. I then got told the day before by my mother that she had booked me a hotel room, and if I got a lift down with her, they would be taking a taxi to the hotel around midnight. I said she should not have done that without asking, and I had already arranged a lift back. Her partner then got on the phone, called me selfish and childish, and said that not everything is always about me. I ended up just not going to the wedding. The second incident occurred when my mother was looking after my child while I attended night school. She was supposed to have him until the morning and then bring him home. When I returned home, I called to check how he had gone down as he does not stay there too often. They have problems with him getting to sleep. They did not answer for the first 2 rings, and then my mother sent me a message that had a lot of typos, which is not normal for her. I called and she was drunk, slurring her words, and my 2-year-old was still awake in the background. When I asked if she had been drinking, she started saying I was being unreasonable and she could not believe me. I walked to their house to get my child, and she called me an unfit mother and threw his clothes at me. Her partner came out and asked me why I overreacted so much. I just walked away. Since then, my mother and I have once again been trying to repair our relationship. Because I do not drive, I asked her to drop off a form for my baby's nursery that he is due to start. She did not drop it off. Instead, she took it home and read through it. When she saw that her partner was not on the emergency contacts, she asked me why and accused me of pushing him out. She then said if he was not on the emergency contacts, she did not want to be involved. I told her I do not trust him after everything that has happened. He has never, not once in my life, ever been there for me in an emergency. He has only ever been a person who has made me feel worthless. I would not reach out to him in an emergency for me or my child. Why would I include him? He also does not drive, so he would not be much help. She then said if that is how I felt, she would cut contact with me. Am I the a-hole? Stop, take a breath. You do not leave a child with child abusers or people who tolerate child abuse. You do not leave a child with people who drink to excess when they are in charge of the child. You do not leave a child with people who call the parent ugly names and emotionally abuse her, and might very well turn around and do the exact same thing to the child. And you do not have an emergency contact who does any of these things. I am not just talking about your stepfather, I am talking about your mother. The fact that you did not cut or severely restrict contact with her after the wedding incident suggests that you absorbed so much punishment and emotional abuse growing up that this seems normal to you. It is not normal. Your stepfather is not the only person who has made you feel worthless. Your mother, who has supported him and tolerated what he has said and done to you, is equally responsible. Please, please get yourself to a therapist and do not allow your child to be alone with either one of them. Ever. Forever. Not now, not in the future. I am sorry you have suffered so much. Please start getting yourself disentangled from this ugly, destructive family dynamic. And you would be an a-hole if either of these people who treat you so badly were the emergency contact. Am I the a-hole if I give my ex-husband clothes that do not fit our kids? For context, my ex and I separated close to 2 years ago. We share a 12-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 4-year-old, who I have full-time custody of. My ex has the children every Friday from 4 p.m. until Saturday at 8 p.m. He pays no child support and owes a significant amount, but he simply does not pay. I cover all of the children's needs throughout the year, including school supplies, uniforms, and sports or extracurricular activities. Typically, when my ex picks the children up from school on Friday, he will come by my house to grab the bags I have packed. These bags contain pajamas, toothbrushes, clothes, and shoes for the kids' time with him, and then he just returns the bags full of dirty uniforms and clothes when he drops them off for me to wash. Last week, we had an argument because I told him he needed to buy clothes for the children to keep at his house. I was tired of packing them bags and then having to wash everything when he brings them back. He argues that he should not have to do this because he purchased clothes and toys for the children when we were together. He claims he did not take any clothes when we separated, so he believes I owe him half of the children's clothes. To address this, I gave him some clothes. I did not give him the clothes that they are wearing currently, which I have purchased in recent months as they have grown. Instead, I provided him with half of the clothes that the children were wearing when we separated. This includes the size 2, 5, and 10 clothes that I had stored in the garage. Now my ex is bombarding my phone with messages insulting me, saying that I am a terrible person for this and that I still owe him. So, am I the a-hole? Edit, as some people seem unable to understand, I am obviously not expecting my children to wear clothes that do not fit them. I simply gave them to my ex because he was claiming he was owed them from when we were together. Yes, that was me being petty towards my ex, but I would not make my children suffer. That would be wrong. My lawyer is actively pursuing child support. My ex is being contacted weekly regarding this through phone calls and letters, but it is difficult as he does not have a wage for garnishment. He is self-employed and takes shareholder distributions. I do not fully understand this, but essentially, they cannot garnish it. I anticipate receiving a small amount in the next month or two, as my ex has filed his taxes for the year and is owed a refund, which will come directly to me as child support. He has made it very clear that if I take him to court, he will create difficulties for me. This includes him trying to obtain full custody. We both know he would never actually get it, and he admits that he would not. However, he understands that I do not want the children to go through a court case, as it would involve interviews as part of the proceedings, and I have trauma from experiencing something similar when I was a child. As far as our children are aware, their dad and I are friends. We have made sure the children do not see any tension, especially considering my own experiences with my parents' messy divorce. Honestly, you should go back to court to obtain the child support he owes. Also, the judge would not be very kind to a man who does not provide for his children and insults his ex-wife, who does.